We are on week 7 of repositioning random businesses in the wild. And before we get started, just want to make a note that businesses that are mentioned here, there's been no previous conversations or interactions with them before, so there is no background context. And this is purely just going off what we found on their websites, on their socials, on LinkedIn, etc. So the company that we have this week is East Coast Lumber, and they're based in North Carolina. So moving forward to their website, they've got a lot on there. They're listing all of their different services, all of the different kinds of wood that they work with. It's very overwhelming to the point where somebody can feel like, hey, is this just another distributor with a bunch of stuff? Like, what makes you special? Leaning into how we can position them, let's have a look at what they've already got there. They've got creating values and that relationship focus. I think we can work with this, especially positioning it around the custom and that speciality side of things. Competitors aren't doing that. So, say, for example, national players are more focused on straight distribution, but who are focusing on custom? From what I can see, there's only specialty mills and they're scattered regionally and it's quite fragmented and underserved in terms of the market. But in terms of leaning into this idea of custom or what is called remanufacturing, actually serves the buyers and leads into where the industry is moving as a point of distinction because buyers only do their own cutting and processing, which ends up costing them $20 to $40 extra an hour in labor, equipment, training, waste, etc. And having a partner who already does this custom work, they'd be willing to pay 15 to 30%, and this has been researched before recording this video, premium to outsource this remanufacturing versus doing it themselves. So in terms of their positioning, we're looking at the custom remanufacturing partner for industrial lumber buyers, or better yet, and if this is something that they're willing to double down on, custom remanufacturing for industrial manufacturers on the East Coast. So you've got a clear focus as to what you do at remanufacturing, target market, industrial manufacturers, and location, East Coast. So it's like bam, 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 you're super honed in. In terms of concerns that they'll need to work through, there's two that I see that will be strong friction points in terms of them making this decision to move forward and to really hone in. The first is the overload of listing everything they can offer on their website. And sadly, this is something that I see regularly. They could do something like known for custom yellow pine, which is already mentioned on their website, remanufacturing, which also carry standard products, versus we sell everything. Okay, they'd likely be thinking we'll lose revenue from those other products. But the reality is those products are probably low margin distractions anyway. And the revenue that you lose from unfocused marketing, i.e. not standing out, ends up being much bigger than from random products. Think about FedEx. Do they only ship overnight packages? No, they also do ground shipping as well, but they are known for their overnight. And that's the positioning that's made them into the market leader. And that is why we want to be focused and honing down on that one specific point of differentiation. You can still mention these other areas. Now, the second point of friction is picking a target customer type. Different customers or different audiences are going to have different needs and pains. And if you have a wide group, you're not going to be able to get a clear message out there. So for this case, let's go with the industrial construction focus, which means that in terms of content, they'll be focused on dimensional lumber processing, treatment application. Now, obviously, you're not adding in a lot of jargon. You're making it super understandable to the target audience there, these industrial construction managers or decision makers. Now, the third one, and bonus one, is they need to know what they customize. This is taking it from, okay, yes, we do that customization, we do that remanufacturing, but let's narrow that down. We customize everything. Doesn't provide that credibility. It's empty. So if they pick 2 to 3 specific remanufacturing services that they're badass at, like we cut heat treated lumber to precise specifications, or we process rough cut lumber to finished dimensions for industrial construction. These are clear and resonate with a specific pain with where they're at. Let's talk about how this looks like in their business, their content, their marketing, their sales training. And this is not about rebranding because fuck rebrands. This is very much about focusing on that reposition we've just done and what that looks like in their conversations, in their marketing. So say, for example, they've published an article, they base it on this positioning. So first we need to fix the problem of proof. And they've been around long enough that there's going to be a lot of content around what are the lead times that they can provide? What are the specifications? What are the dimensions they cut? The tolerances? What is a minimum order? Have these things clearly out there in different pieces of content so that people can access them. And have lots of case studies, photos, behind the scenes, videos, break down how the ordering works. Make the process for buyers super simple to know why they should be coming to you, why you're the go-to. And even in terms of the messaging, make it super clear that it's like, okay, stop wasting labor and equipment doing your own cutting. You manufacture to your exact specs, delivered, ready to use. There is nothing fuzzy about that. So like if we look at their website, we can say, for example, custom remanufacturing for industrial manufacturers. We cut, resaw, and process southern yellow pine to your exact specifications so that you don't have to. In their supporting section, we've got backed by 50 years of supply reliability. Again, you're building into that relationships that we talked about earlier. Multiple sawmill partnerships across the Southeast ensure that we can deliver when others can't. And we also carry standard dimensional lumber, hardwoods. So you're not losing the other products that you have. It's the supporting case. That's it for this week. If there was anything that you would add, comments, or thoughts for businesses that should be covered next week, drop it down in the comments, drop a follow, and catch you then.